Since 1990, Owen Brenan has shared delicacies and traditions at his East Memphis location near Poplar and Ridgeway. Today, Jim Baker, the proprietor, is going to teach us how to prepare oyster Rockefeller. And thank you for joining us today, Jim.
Thank you, Yvette.
Now, tell me a little bit about this room. I'm not familiar with this room. You all have so many.
Well, this room is called the Royal and Canal Room.
The Royal and Canal.
And it's one of our private dining rooms where we have a lot of functions here that are wedding functions. It could be a rehearsal dinner. It could be a bridal luncheon. But it's just kind of our, most beautiful room. When you look at it, it has Italian marble. It runs up 33 feet in the air, the tapestry, and this beautiful mural of a New Orleans courtyard scene.
I know. You were telling me earlier when you walk in the room, it actually looks like you're walking into the courtyard.
Right. As you're coming down the hallway, you're walking across the same look of this stone, and you come in and you see this New Orleans courtyard in the back, so it makes you feel like you're really in New Orleans.
I know. You have such a wonderful vision. Now, we're going to prepare oyster Rockefeller.
Oyster Rockefeller. It's not really hard to prepare, but there's so much different items in it and flavor in it that we have people come in and say, you have the best oysters Rockefeller there is. And of course, we have a great chef, Chef Lorenzo Allen. He's been with us since the day we've opened out here. While Lorenzo doesn't have what I call a formal college degree with the chef after, he's got 45 years of cooking and just does an unbelievable job for us.
And that's all you need is the 45 years of cooking to do a good job.
Let's start off with a little butter.
Now that's a lot of butter.
That's 4 ounces of butter.
Okay, does it matter on the size of the oyster?
Not really. You don't want a small oyster. You don't want the largest oyster. A medium-sized oyster works best.
Okay, now where do you get your oysters from?
Well, they come from various places. They all come from certified beds, which may come from anywhere from the New Orleans Gulf area all the way around to Texas.
What's a certified bed?
A certified bed is where they check a batch of the oysters. So when they come to us, it has a tag on it that tells us where it came from and that has been checked and certified that there's not any pathogens in it at all.
That's a good thing.
As you can see, Lorenzo right now is adding 3 cups of chopped onion, chopped celery, and green pepper.
Now, is that the Trinity?
That is a Trinity.
That is the Trinity.
That is a Trinity. It's interesting that you know that word.
Look, well now, you can tell I've been at Brennan's quite a while. And I love Cajun food.
Well, it's one thing that Creole and Cajun is known for. It has flavor.
Exactly.
And you'll see very few things in our recipe that has 1 or 2 or 3 items in it. A lot of the things that's cooked in Cajun and Creole has a base to it, which we all cook up in advance, usually 3 or 4 days refrigerated, and we bring that base out to go into the main item.
And see, that amazes me because I would think that a cream base would sour, not stay, but you say it'll last 3 or 4?
Oh, the cream is never added until that day.
Until that day.
He added some chopped garlic, 1½ teaspoon of chopped garlic, 1 ounce of chicken base.
Feels good.
And 3/4 cup cooked bacon. The bacon is a very important ingredient, and you really need to find a lean bacon that cooks up and you can crumble up. So you want a lean piece of bacon to put in there because the bacon is a lot of the flavor that you're coming out of the Rockefeller.
Ooh, that smells so good, Lorenzo. Okay, so now how long do you saute it, and it takes about what?
That's about 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes?
You have a stage that you go through. You start off with 3 to 5 minutes on the vegetables, and you gradually add to it.
The spinach has been added in here. And the spinach, you can use the frozen spinach, or you can go out and use the fresh spinach. Of course, you're going to have to use a lot more fresh spinach when you cook it back down. It just depends on what your preference is.
And as you can see, Lorenzo is adding some, what is that, clarified butter?
That's Brenan.
Oh, that's Brenan. I saw that he added some.
I added some Tabasco in there as we came back on. There's Tabasco, and I added some Worcestershire in there.
See, you say that really well. I always mess that up.
I also added the heavy cream at the end.
Okay, Lorenzo, now we're getting ready to, I'm going to call it to plate it up. Okay, Jim, can you pass me the finished product?
I think we do. We have a finished product right here we'd like to bring out.
Look at that. So now, can I do my little famous taster?
Most definitely.
Okay, try just a little bit of this. Oh, it looks so good. Okay. See, this is why this is one of my favorite places to eat, because the food is always good. You've done a wonderful job. Thank you so much. Today, my guest is Dianne Dixson. Now, normally, when you hear the word architect, you think about men, houses, buildings, but today, I've got a lady who's gonna change your mind. Not only is she probably the only female that's had her own architect firm, but she was the first woman certified at the Mid-South Minority Business Council. I did get that right, Dianne, right?
That's right.
Welcome to the Yvette George Show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I am so honored that you would take the time to come and talk to us. What lit that spark in you for you to become an architect?
It's going to sound funny, but in high school, they taught mechanical drafting to the boys. Mm-hmm. And I was already kind of pushing towards the cutting edge of femininity. So I asked them to let me take the drafting class. I also had to take the welding shop class, the wood shop too.
Really?
But that's where I got my exposure to drawing and the art of architecture and math and shapes, and that kind of inspired me to want to be an architect. So I graduated from the Herf College of Engineering. I was one of the first women to graduate from that program to become licensed as an architect. So that was real important to me. Yes, I felt like it was important.
U of M has their own department. Back then, I think they were together, they were combined.
Well, they were part of the engineering department before, and they have recently moved to the art department. And they have a master's program in architecture at U of M now, so we're very proud of the way the program has developed over the years. It's easier now than it was for me back when I graduated.
I have to say kudos. I know you start with an architect if you're building from scratch.
Right.
But even if you're renovating, it's always good to check with an architect prior to, because most people go and pick out their appliance, their furniture, and decorations, and then they never think about an architect unless they
you know how important space is to you, and convenience, particularly when you're cooking. An architect can help you lay that space out so that it functions at the highest level for your needs, tailor-made for you.
For you. I like that, tailor-made for you. Okay, my last question I'd like to pose to you. I know one of your passions is farmers market.
Oh, yes.
And so tell me how you got involved with the farmers market, because later in the year when they open, we're going to
The Memphis Farmers Market has been in existence now. This will be our third season. I was brought into the group, not really as a foodie, but as an architect to help them manage the process of getting the market put into place. And I was very proud of the relationship that we have created with MATA. Like I said, this will be our third season to open in the pavilion behind Central Station. And it's we'll start 1st of May. I think we're going to have a little bit of an early start this year in April.
Talking to the wonderful architect, Dianne Dixson.
Thank you.
Stay tuned, we're going to be doing a little cooking. She's preparing squash casserole. We'll be right back with more of the Yvette George Show.
Power tools have evolved. The new lithium Ryobi 1 Plus tools work at full power twice as long with a battery that fits all your other 1 Plus tools. Ryobi 1 Plus. Pro features, affordable prices. You'll find them only at the Home Depot.